Hello, my name is Maxine. Welcome to or welcome back to my yoga YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me. As always, I do prefer to begin standing so that we can work our way together gradually onto the ground. So standing nice and tall with the feet slightly turned in over together or hip width apart. Pelvis tucked under and shoulders softly roll back and down. So just finding a nice tall posture, lengthening through the spine as if there was a thread pulling from the top of our head up to the sky. And then taking a nice deep inhale, raising up the arms, filling up the lungs, feel the ribcage expand, pray the palms to the heart as we exhale, and just taking a moment to arrive in the body, closing the eyes and taking the gaze off the tip of the nose. Tuning into the breath. And today I think we'll begin with the Om mantra, pronounced A-O-M. It is the sound of the vibration of the creation of the universe, which every living thing still vibrates at this day. It's a great way of just to ground and center ourselves and calm and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So taking a nice deep breath in, Don't feel intimidated by that, especially if you're alone at home on your own. It's a perfect time to give it a try. So stepping back a little to maybe it's just behind halfway on the mat. Let's take the arms down once again by our sides and take some nice deep breaths in as we raise the arms above the head. Again, filling up the lungs, and as we exhale, softening the knees, swan dive to the ground. Inhale up, maybe slightly back bend, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale up, and last time exhale down and taking it into a ragdoll. So bent knees, just let the body fall. It's a lovely way of just letting go, relaxing the head, neck and shoulders, opening up the hips a little, stretching out the spine. So don't worry, wherever you are is perfectly fine. You could be here, and always remember to use blocks or straps whenever need be. So just nice nourishing breath, gentle sway. Maybe grab the elbows, little pulses. And then from here, place the hands on the ground or on your blocks, walk the feet out so they're around about on the insides of the edge of the mat, and just lowering it down on the balls of the feet from one side to the other, just easing our way into a squat. And also, if you prefer to begin with lifting it up and down, so you can do either all or both, just whatever feels good for you. So just gently inhale as we open, exhale as we fold, inhale as we open, and exhale as we fold. And then maybe it's another little wiggle from side to side, however feels good for you. just a little bounce in the centre. If you can come flat onto your feet, great, but otherwise if you're on the balls of the feet still, that's perfectly fine. And a rolled up towel behind the heels is helpful to stop you from toppling back over. Maybe you can hold it with the palms in prayer, push the knees out. Several nice deep breaths. And then bring the fingertips or the palms to the ground, lift up the hips once again, and then walking the feet back in. So the toes are about an inch apart, the heels maybe a little bit wider, and then let's bend down onto our hunkers. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And this time as we bend, come onto the toes, turn the feet so the balls of the feet and the heels meet together as we lower down into standing butterfly. So hold on to the ground, maybe make a mudra on your knees. Mudras are hand gestures that encourage energy flow throughout the body. Just focusing on a spot. Nice deep conscious breaths. And then we're going to lower it down with wide knees. So maybe take the hands to the ground or just lower it down. And then come and sit down onto the heels. Take some cat-cows here. So inhale, chin up, tailbone up, out, exhale, round it down. Inhale, and exhale, round it down. Inhale, and exhale just to neutral, and then release and inhale up to the sky, and exhale, reach behind and over, slight little back bend, just hold for several breaths, hand into more or less the centre behind, or just the side of, in line with your shoulder or a little bit further in. Inhale back to centre, and exhale, reach behind and over, several breaths. Just relax into that nice back bend. Release back to centre, deep breath in, and once again reaching behind and over. You bend the elbow out and reach a little deeper down. Inhale back to the sky. Exhale, reach behind and over. You maybe bend the elbow and reach a little deeper. The twist, the back bend. Back to centre. Prayer. And then let's walk the hands forward into wide knee child pose, sinking the bum to the heels, maybe helping them along. If your bum feels if it's up here, push through the palms or the fingertips, pushing the bum a little closer, and then stretching the arms out, letting the heart melt to the ground, resting the forehead. Several nice deep breaths, and one variation of child pose. If you ever need to come down into, if you need a break at any time, feel free to come down into a child pose of your choice. Modify the poses in any way which suit you. It's your practice, so do whatever feels good for you. then gaze forward. Let's walk the hands over to one side, bringing the chest almost or roundabout to the thigh and rest it down again. Nice deep relaxing breath. Gaze forward, walk the hands through past the centre and over to the opposite side. And rest and breathe. And then lift back to the centre. One last rest down. Bring it up. Hands just out in front. And maybe just take a little sway from side to side. Pushing the shoulder into the centre. So sweep it across, looking over the opposite shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And then back to centre. And again, let's just walk the hands out in front. Rest. And then bring them back in. And then lifting it up forward. Lowering it down here, bending the elbows and bringing the feet together, the knees together as we inhale into a low cobra, and then lift, widen the knees, lower it down, bring it up, knees together, forward, inhale up, and a little higher cobra, just depending on how comfortable your spine is at this point. And then again, lift, widen the knees, lower it down. So you get the idea now. Inhale forward, bring the knees together, exhale, lower it down. Inhale up a little higher in the cobra, elbows are bent in cobra, and back. Inhale forward, down, and through and up. Exhale back, gaze forward, inhale, lower, exhale, inhale, up, dog. So just getting the feel for that. So as before, it's either lift it up, bring the knees together, weight forward, down, through and up, cobra, back, widen the knees, lower it down, or come forward, lift, lower, and inhale up, dog. So a few variations there, just pick one that suits you. So holding it here for a few breaths in either cobra or up dog, just to know that we don't sink down, push the ground away, pull the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Nice deep breaths. And then knees together, sinking it back into another variation of child pose. And then gaze forward, plant the palms. Every time the palms are planted on the ground, the fingers are always spread wide because it gives us much more strength, balance and stability. So in our down dog, in our tabletop, we could just have a little movement here, swaying the hips from side to side, taking the shoulder into the center as we do so. Just whatever feels good for you. Inhale, exhale, round the spine, maybe give it a little rock back and forth, taking a moving cat-cow. And then let's bring it up with an inhale, chin up, tailbone up, tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift it up into down dog. Nice deep breath. Finding a nice strong triangle, aligning the arms with the back, hips to the sky, pushing the ground away. Maybe have a little pedal, a little sway. Or hold it on one side, feeling the deeper stretch down the back of the straight leg. And then alternate. And then taking the gaze forward, either bunny hop to the front of the mat, or you can just walk little steps, or maybe 2 big steps to the front of the mat, folding it in here, either grabbing onto the big toes. Remember, knees are always soft because we want to hinge from the hips and aim for the chest to the thighs. You could grab the ankles or hug it in behind the calves. And then let's roll it up one vertebra at a time. And lift the shoulders, roll them back into mountain pose. Deep breath in and deep breath out as we bring the palms to prayer. And just taking a moment as we tune into the breath, noticing how we feel from when we began. Any sensations in the body. Maybe you can feel that subtle energy body beginning to flow more freely. Any stuck energy or stuck emotions can be released during our physical practice. And then standing once again nice and tall, really lengthening through the spine. Let's take an inhale up to the thighs, slight back bend, prayer, bending the knees, soften, hinge and fold. And let's step the right foot back, drop the right knee and lengthen through the spine, reach towards the ground. Several breaths, finding blocks if you need them, or books. Alternatively, try not to make the knee go over. If that's the case, shift the foot further forward or the other knee further back. So just finding that place where you can feel strong and in control. So also the feet and the knees are both in alignment with each hip, opposed to if you were on one track, then you will be much more wobbly, so you have much more stability if the feet and the knees are hip width apart. So from here, let's take an inhale up to the sky, and then exhale, sweep it down, and as we do so, straighten out the front leg, flexing the front foot, and exhale, fold. Let's bring it forward, inhale up, exhale, sweep it down and lengthen. Snake can be soft if need be. Fold, inhale up, exhale down. Last time, inhale up, exhale, turn the arms the same direction as the legs. Just find a nice strong stable posture here, and then taking the front hand just on the inside, holding on to the shin or wherever you can get hold of. Maybe you're holding on to the thigh, and from here let us lift up the back foot. See if we can take hold. So this is where we need to find strength and stability. So if you may be able to leave go of the front leg and lift it up here. Several strong deep breaths. And then release it down. I'm going to sweep this back foot from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, depending on which foot you are on. Finding our hip above the knee directly. So just look down and check that the knee's underneath your hip. Several strong breaths. Inhale and exhale. Let's just lean forward into that front knee. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse, and reach to the ground, straightening out that front leg. Feeling, reaching through the fingertips, feeling the stretch up the top side. Several breaths. And then from here, bend the knee and reach around. See if you can grab for the foot. If not, just take the hand behind the back. Reach for the opposite thigh. If you have the foot, pull it into the bum cheek. Several breaths. And then push the foot into the hand, opening up the heart. Slight back bend. Release. Stretch it over once again. And then as we lift it up, bending into that front knee and reaching forward, turn the back foot back to 6 o'clock. Let's sink it back. Lengthen, inhale, exhale, and let's hold for several breaths here. Coming in a little closer on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen, hinge and fold, exhale. Close it in. Again, remember, blocks if you are up here, perfectly fine. You need something to hold on to for balance. Otherwise, if you can reach the ground, it's where you arrive to with practice. And then taking the gaze forward, frame the foot, lift up and rock, step it in or take little steps to bring it into pyramid. Let's take it back a little here and lengthen, exhale, fold it in again. Nice deep breaths. Grab behind the calf or the ankle if you want to deepen the stretch, pull it in a little tighter. And let's lift it up, bend it into the front knee, reach the arms in front, inhale, exhale into warrior 3. Don't worry if your leg's not right up here, you could have your toe close to the ground to help. If you have a piece of furniture to help support you here, perfectly fine. Any kind of prop can be useful. And then inhale, exhale it into Shiva, and then back into warrior 3. And then let's take the hands down, bend the front knee and take it down back into that Shiva, and then lower the foot to the ground and gently slide down into cow face. Well done. So finding a nice straight spine, reaching behind with the knee that's highest with the hand behind, and use that arm as a prop to lengthen through the spine, reaching across on the outside of the opposite leg. Turn and look behind, over the shoulder, closing the eyes. Nice deep relaxing breath. Breathing into that spinal twist. Arm from behind, turn and reach up the back, centre of the back. Reach up to the sky. Bend the elbow and grab for the fingertips. A moment of stillness. Just relax and breathe. And then release. Give the shoulders a little massage in one direction, then the other. Roll the head. One way, then the other. And then let us untie the legs, taking the bottom shin parallel with the mat. And see how my knee's up there? That's how you may feel it is. Perfectly fine. It doesn't take much to manage to get it down there. So just first of all, maybe leaning back onto the opposite side. Taking that, pushing on the thigh just above the knee. But even if your legs are just simply crossed, opposed to one shin on top of the other, that's also perfectly fine. So just take a moment to open that hip. Nice deep relaxing breaths once again. And then we can release, and also if we shuffle the hips, the bum cheeks back, it may come down a little further, and then in which case we can also lean forwards, walking the hands forward, just resting it down, maybe little pulses. And a nice deep breath in as we release. And release this leg from there and sweep it around behind into pigeon pose. So in which case some people can maintain their shin parallel with the front of the mat. That's not necessary. So as we're taking that back leg behind, it's automatically, naturally taking my leg here on an angle. So just checking that the back leg is going straight back and our hips are nice and square. And if possible, the knee here wide of the hip, because it gives us more balance, but don't worry if it's not there. You can also use a block here to prop your bum up on. And for the moment, let's just stretch it out, taking several breaths, slight back bend. Pushing up through the fingertips or off your blocks, or maybe you're here, that's fine. And then from here, let us just walk it forward, just nicely opening the hip up a little further, resting it down. And if the pigeon is a little difficult for you, you can take it into the called stag, so both knees are at right angles, and then just still rest it forward. So either way, but if you're a pigeon, you want to aim for the hips square, you could have it active or passive. Passive, I think, if we're going to rest it down. So anyone with sciatica or problem with your hips, this is a great one for to help with the hips. And you could stay in that pose for, if you do have issues, for a good 5 minutes or more. And then from there, let's just lift it up, and maybe just back from the fingertips, or taking one or both hands up to the sky. Several breaths. And then taking the opposite hand to the knee down, let's bend the back knee and reach for the foot if you can. Don't worry, just maybe take the hand behind your back if you can't reach. Then either stay here or lift up the arm. and then release. Taking the same hand as the knee down, and then going to bend the back knee, reach for the foot with the same hand, and then up to the sky. Or you may be able to pull the foot in a little closer and hook it into the elbow. Maybe lift up and reach for the fingertips in front or up to the sky, and eventually reach for the fingertips behind. A much more advanced pose, so remember, all steps and stages and wherever you are is perfect. So let's just relax it back down and take some nice relaxing breaths. Maybe pray the hands behind the head, wherever you want to place them. And then lifting it up here, go on the toes of the back foot, bring the knee in and take it into tabletop, sitting it down into child pose. Just rock that hip out, just a gentle sway from side to side. And gaze forward back into tabletop. Let's bring it up. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up, down dog. Exhale, strong triangle. Gentle sway of the hips, pedal if you wish. Deep breaths in and out. And then gaze forward, bunny hop, or just take little steps or 1 or 2 steps back to the front of the mat. Fold it in here, again grab onto wherever you can get a hold of. Pull it in behind the calves. Deep breath, deep stretch, bent knees. And roll it up. 1 vertebra at a time. Nice deep breath in, roll the shoulders back and down, and exhale to pray. Well done. And once again, just holding that moment of stillness, just enjoying that release, that exhilaration after that exertion you just put yourself through there. Slowing the breath down and the heartbeat. Preparing for the other side. Standing nice and tall. Conscious breaths, arms down in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky, palms together and fold. Stepping the left leg back, drop the left knee and right knee above the right ankle, lengthen through the spine. Remember, knee and hips in alignment, knee and foot in alignment with the hips. Lengthen and just take several breaths here just to make sure we have our positioning correct with the feet and the knees and the knee just above the ankle. Remembering blocks if need be. Several breaths. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, sweeping it down, sitting it back, straightening, flexing this front foot, knee soft if need be, fold it down. Inhale as we lift it up. Exhale as we bring it down. Inhale up, exhale down, and this time bring it up. Inhale, Exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs. Nice and strong. Several breaths. And then let's take hold of, I like to hold it on the inside of the shin there. Bend in the back knee and grab for the foot. And if you have the foot, you could pull it in a little closer. Oh, and release the hand to the sky. Pressing the foot into the mat. Several breaths. And then maybe hold back onto the shin as we release the back foot and place the shin to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whichever side you're on. Inhale, make sure your hips are now above your knee, so we've come from here to here. Several breaths of strong arms. Inhale, exhale, pushing into that front hip. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Nice deep breaths in and out. In, out. Flip the palm. Inhale, reverse. Reaching down to the ground or onto your block, straightening out that front leg, lengthening through the side body. Several breaths here. And then we're going to lift the arm, bend the knee, and reach back for the foot. Pull it into the bum cheek if you can. Don't worry if you're not reaching the foot, just take the hand behind the back. Push the foot into the hand, let the head fall back, opening up the heart into a little back bend. And as you release, stretch the leg out, reach the arm back above the head. And then as we begin to bring it up, turn the foot to point forward, framing the foot. Turn the back shin to 6 o'clock. Inhale, exhale, sink it back. And let's hold it here for several nice deep breaths. Each inhale, maybe lengthen the spine a little further. Exhale, fold it in a little deeper. Inhale, exhale. And then forward, frame the foot, lift it up, rock it, walk the foot in little by little if need be, and pyramid. Fold it in once again, back foot 45 degrees. Hold behind the leg if you want to deepen that stretch. And let us bring it up and take it into warrior 3. So don't worry if you're a bit wibbly wobbly, perfectly fine. Or the toe could be close to the ground. Remember, any props that are available to you, don't be scared of using them. Inhale, exhale into Shiva. Inhale, exhale, hands to the ground, bringing it back down. Let the toe come down, bend and sit down into cow face, finding a straight spine. And using the same hand as the knee, that is highest. The arm around as a prop to help us sit up straight, opposed to leaning back. It can help us lift and turn. Opposite arm across in front of the opposite thigh. It's extra leverage to deepen the twist. Inhale, exhale. See if you can just deepen that twist a little tiny bit further. Pulling the top shoulder back. And the arm from behind, turn, take it up the centre of the back, help it with the other hand if you need to, and if you're struggling to reach the fingertips, towels, straps or belts are perfect to help you walk the hands and to meet the fingers up together. Just enjoy another moment of stillness. And then release. Give the shoulders a little massage. One direction, then the other. And roll the head. One way, then the other. Well done. So from here, let us untie the legs. Take the bottom leg parallel with the front of the mat and the opposite one. Placing the foot just above the knee there, and as before, you feel as if it's right up here, just lean behind and take the hand on the thigh just above the knee and just help lower it down very gently. Just move it around in any way which feels good for you. And then from there, don't forget, also if your legs are just simply crossed, that's perfectly okay. It's still opening your hips. So from here, let us ease it forward, creep the hands forward and just lower it down. Shifting the bum cheeks out of the way helps. And bringing it up with a nice deep breath. Release the top leg and begin to sweep it back. So if you needed to, you can take the what they call stag pose. So you could use that, or continue to take that back leg straight, in which case either your shin would stay there or naturally want to come in on an angle. And if possible, knee wide, because it gives you balance, so knee wide of the hip. And from here, checking that back leg straight if you are taking a pigeon pose. Just pressing up, either off your blocks or your fingertips, or maybe you're here, that's perfectly fine. Or you may want to just take it straight down onto the ground. And then if you haven't already, let's just walk it forward and rest it down. And then coming back up, first of all, taking the opposite hand down, in alignment with the knee or thereabouts, bending the back foot. Oh, sorry, that wasn't it. Take up the arms first of all. So one or the other or both. And then bringing the opposite hand to the knee down, bending the back foot, holding it here, or if you can find your balance. I also use my toes as well as a little bit of a balance. And then lower, taking the same hand as the knee down to prepare bending the back foot once again, the knee once again, taking hold of the foot, hold it here, or bend the knee, pull it in, hooking it into the inside of the elbow, so you can hold the fingertips in front, or reach up and eventually reach for them behind. And then when you are ready, release and stretch it out. Rest it down. Free the hands if you want to, or stretch the arms out. And then let's lift it up in your own time. Come out the ball of the back foot, lift it, and bring the knees back into tabletop. Sit it back to child pose, and let's just rock the hips out, stretching it from side to side. And active arms, passive arms of prayer. And then time for Shavasana, so you could spend your Shavasana here in child pose, or roll onto your back in the traditional style, or even come and sit up cross-legged with a straight spine, and take a meditation of your choice. After a beautiful stretch and throughout our yoga practice, it's the perfect time to take a meditation. So whether you want to do that here in child pose, you make your choice. And I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me, and namaste. Well done, everyone.